All right, let's feed the kitty. Here you go, kitty.
There you go. What's your face? Glad to
it's
see
a
you
kitty.
still kicking around.
Can I pet the kitty? Oh, come on. Come on. Let me pet the kitty. Oh, God, guys, I can't play this game. Game's unplayable. That's it. That's it. I can't pet the cat. Game's done. Hey, everybody. Kdog here. Welcome to the first of this style, I guess you could say, a YouTube video. Too long didn't read version, though. Go out and play the medium. If you have Game Pass Ultimate, it is free. It is included. If you don't, it is $45. You'll hear me talk about it here in a second. $45, I think, is a slight upsell. I think $40 would have been a little bit better, but I still think that it's worth it. If you are good on that extra $5, you're not going to be disappointed. It is a game that I think overall, Too Long Didn't Read, probably about a 9 out of 10. And you'll hear me talk about that in there overall. So hope you enjoy the video. If you haven't, make sure, if you enjoy it, leave that like, hit that sub. I'd appreciate it, and we might get some more of these made in the future. If you guys have been in the stream and in the Discord, you guys know that I've been talking about branching out and trying different kind of things. Also, you guys are very well aware of when I play games, I take my notes and kind of like to break down whether games are good or bad, good and bad things about them, what I like, what I don't like, what I think should have been tweaked a little bit, etc. I'm a very analytical person, pretty much. You guys all know this, so I've been trying to think of some ways to incorporate that into the content. So this is the first YouTube video with that kind of little bit. This first one is, simply put, just the recap afterwards of the stream. I wasn't planning. This is very off the cuff, straight from the stream. My review after getting done playing medium, what I thought about it, immediately looking at my notes, all of that. Future videos, if you guys like this kind of content, when I am doing this, I'll kind of set it up a little bit nicer and do more of a review style format. I like that ending. That's I don't know. Not yet. I didn't see all the way through the end, so this is the first time I saw it. Yeah, so I mean, realistically, I was taking my time, and obviously took a couple breaks here and there, but it took me about 8 hours. 8 to 8.5 hours. Games like this, having more than like an 8-hour, I mean, realistically, if you're not looking around for other story shit and all that, it probably could be quicker. You probably, if you don't get hung up, if you find the couple puzzle things a lot faster, your first playthrough probably could be 6 hours. But I mean, I think games like this, you shouldn't be speed running them. Like, there's not like combat things. There's not anything like that. It's just, you're trying to appreciate it and get involved with the world. And I know that kind of stuff, it's a lot to really do just straight story the whole time. Because you figure, even, think of a game like Last of Us that kind of balances that. But I mean, if you just take those story parts and put all those together, which they are there, the game wouldn't nearly be as long. They balance it out. They have that. But I mean, the combat takes up a lot of those parts. So that's huge development teams and all that. A lot of these style games are smaller development teams working on them. So I think about 8 hours is about on par average for the genre. I'm comparing in my head to something like Life is Strange. I don't think it's good or bad. I think it's right on par and right on the money. I would love to see some of these things have more of a little bit more of a length as a genre to them. But I mean, it's a lot. We went through quite a bit of story there. It's just without any combat or other things to mix it up, there's only so much story to tell in one thing. They left it at a good point, and then now they could add on to it. That was season 1. Really loved it, though. I think off the cuff for this genre, of game. I don't know. I don't know that I have a game that's like a 10 out of 10 in this genre. So it's hard to like say like what's a perfect game. But I guess like overall, I would probably, if Layers of Fear 2 is like a 6 or 7, and say like Layers of Fear 1 is like an 8 or 9, I would probably put it, from what I remember of Layers of Fear 1 and how good it was in comparison, I would probably put it around that level. Maybe even a little better. Just thinking, like, I'd have to replay original, but I mean, 8 or 9, I think is worthy in this game for in this class of game. You can't, you know, apples to oranges, can't compare this to fucking, you know, Valorant and, you know, in number rankings. But the movement took me a minute to get used to. Resident Evil wise was a little, but that's just my own personal preference. I've always had issues with that movement. I don't think that I can hold it against it. But if you like that, I think that being said, that style of movement with the cinematography was done very well. I think that's one of the best examples that I've seen of it. I think the camera only messed up and like annoyed me once, and normally it does that a lot more. I think that they changed camera angles at good times and changed the areas, and it was at good levels where you weren't like being blocked behind shit, but yet you still got a feeling for the area around it. Really happy that they had, like, I'm just trying to think, like, I have a couple notes here that I took while doing it, but I'm trying to think off the top of my head. But really happy that they had like the trigger warnings and all that at the beginning, as games should if those are in the game, which is fine. And we can put those out there as streamers, then you guys as viewers and or people playing know when those things may or may not be there. It's like I said that even when I was playing through, I'm like, oh, I have a feeling this is when they're going to get more into the trigger warning thing. Like, you can feel it coming, like where the story is leading to, when it starts to kind of allude to it more directly. But I loved the ending. The only bad thing was like the cutscenes kind of stuttering. I could see like with them trying to load. That's why I think that they weren't really in-game engine things. Like, I almost feel like the game paused. They loaded in this cutscene from another company, like, and that's what it looked like. Maybe even for the credits. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Pause, and then it, like, the game was trying to load that in, and it took a second to figure it out, and then when it went back to the game, it took a second to figure it out, you know, loading wise. But yeah, I definitely think this is a game, especially if you have Ultimate, to play. $45. If it was on Game Pass Ultimate, I don't know that I would have gotten it. Actually, I might have. I might still have. $45 for it is the question it comes down to. This day and age, $60 games for AAAs, $45. Me being out of a job right now, pretty much, besides streaming and all that, hard sell. But if I had the money and all that, if this wasn't on Game Pass, anything else, I don't think I'd have an issue suggesting somebody to buy this. If it wasn't on Game Pass Ultimate and everything else. I think it is a good play and it's worth a playthrough. And it's a lot. You know, sometimes the 8 hours of quality content is better than, you know, 30 hours of shitty COD playing, you know? And I think that's what it comes down to. I think I would have been a little happier with $39.99. You know, $40. $40, I'd be fine. $45, you know, that's an extra beer at the bar, you know, but I'm still okay with it. I think 40 would be the good. I think 40 would be okay. I think 40 would have been a little bit better of a price point, but I'm still not upset with it. They didn't charge 60. Like if you go like on Steam or whatever, right? I'm pretty sure it's 45. I'm 90% sure it's 45. Let me double check. I don't know. I like taking notes. I like looking at analyzing things and all that kind of stuff. I am very analytical, but like Northlock asked me earlier, there's not really anything I can straight out say bad about the game, which says a lot because I am a very nitpicky fucking person when it comes to games. I can normally tear them down quite a bit, and I don't really see much that I have issues with about this game. Hey everyone, just a couple quick things that I had to cut out from the little after stream review immediately after we got done playing, just because while talking about them had a couple spoilers and all that, and I didn't want that in the review either way. Pretty much the main things were just talked about the cinematography. Absolutely gorgeous the way that they did. They balanced it out the way that the cameras were. I think they did it rather well. Resident Evil, even though like it was looking from one direction, it panned nicely. It didn't really get caught up much. I kind of mentioned that once, but it didn't really get caught up on much stuff, and it really they really brought the whole environment to life really well, and just giving you just the vibe of the game. Like I said, taken out of that. Difficulty overall, the puzzles weren't hard. You ran into more just having a hard time, at least me personally, trying to find things, so to speak. It wasn't that they were inherently hard or easy. They're about on par for this genre, but they didn't really have any I didn't have any issues solving them, that like anything that really stumped me per se after, besides just like a minute or two. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we do some more of these in the future, and hopefully you guys like it.